for News 12 is brought to you by Kenneth Nugent. From the station that's on your side, News 12, First at 5, continues.
First at 5, Rudy Giuliani ordered to appear in an Atlanta courtroom tomorrow in front of a special grand jury investigating the 2020 election. And it's a different sort of capture the flag. Instead of playing on a field, people around the world are studying cybersecurity, playing on a computer base right here in Augusta. Let's begin with the Capture the Flag event at the Georgia Cyber Center today. Claire Allen was there to find out exactly how hacking into computers to look for Easter eggs teaches software engineers real-life skills.
Think of the game Jeopardy. People from each team pick a category they're most skilled in to compete in order to win.
The more points you get, the closer you get to winning this trophy and medals. For hours, 75 teams from 12 different countries compete using their cybersecurity skills to break down different categories related to technical support. This year's competition is the largest they've ever had here at TechNet. Capture the Flag is a safe place where people can practice and sharpen their skills.
Doing it here in the Capture the Flag competition gives them that sandbox to do that, because they can do whatever they want in here, attacking everybody's system, solving the challenges and all that, but it's not going to affect anything that's out on the the broader internet.
Next on News 12 at 6 o'clock, I will have a detailed look on how the game is played. At the Georgia Cyber Center, Claire Allen on your side.
High-tech Capture the Flag right here in Augusta. Claire, thank you for that. Let's check in now with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Riley Hale. Riley, I mentioned the cloud cover earlier, but now the sunshine makes
eastbound and westbound. Now going out to the Button Bridge, downtown Augusta, Calhoun Expressway, a few cars out and about. No headaches here in downtown Augusta. Full forecast coming up in just about 10 minutes.
Augusta Commissioner is still looking into damage to homes along Ellis Street in Augusta. Last week we told you some parts of the street have to deal with flooding caused by stormwater coming from the Calhoun Expressway. Craig Allison in commission this afternoon following that story and much more. Also, former President Trump's lawyer Rudy Giuliani expected to appear in an Atlanta courtroom tomorrow, part of that investigation into the 2020 election. Nick Valencia has more on Giuliani's connections to the claims of voter fraud and the Georgia investigation.
All I want to do is this. I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have.
This now infamous call.
And flipping the state is a great testament to our country.
Helped to spark a special purpose grand jury investigation in Georgia. But it's not only what he said, but what he said, setting up a possible showdown in Atlanta. The ex-president's former lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, now a target in the investigation into whether Donald Trump and his allies violated the law in their attempt to flip election results in Georgia. Investigators scrutinizing Giuliani's appearances before state lawmakers in 2020, where he peddled baseless claims of widespread irregularities and voter fraud, attacking voting machines.
Whether you're a Republican or a Democrat, this is not a machine you want counting your votes.
And a week later, Georgia election workers.
They look like they're passing out dope, not just ballots. It is quite clear they're stealing votes.
Those statements came after other false claims Giuliani made regarding the Georgia recount following Trump's loss.
They're counting the same fraudulent ballots.
In the case of Rudy Giuliani, his involvement in all the other stuff, but also his involvement in attempting to influence the Georgia legislature and making false statements to the Georgia legislature about the existence of fraud. And, you can't make you can say whatever you want on TV, but if you make false statements to the government and government officials like the legislators, that's potentially a crime.
Giuliani on Monday seeming to give a glimpse into a possible defense.
I was his lawyer of record in that case. The statements that I made are either attorney-client privileged because they were between me and him, or they were being made on his behalf in order to defend him.
There's something called the crime fraud exception. And if they're sitting and talking about criminal activity, there's no attorney-client privilege.
Interesting legal debate right there. A lawyer for Giuliani says his client's expected to appear but would not comment on what kind of responses Giuliani might give. News about Giuliani comes as the judge rules South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham will also have to testify before that Fulton County grand jury. Senator Graham denies pressuring Georgia's Secretary of State to throw out any legal ballots. He's expected to testify on all this next week. Conspiracy theorist Alex Jones suffering a legal setback after a judge ruled that penalties from a defamation lawsuit can move forward. Parents of the Sandy Hook shooting victims are the ones who sued him. An attorney for the families accusing Jones of trying to block a jury from holding him accountable for his actions. Jones was convicted of spreading lies that the shooting was a hoax. Golden Harvest Food Bank holding a produce distribution tomorrow. They're setting up in the parking lot of the Faith Food Factory on Commerce Drive. That event's set from 5:30 until 7:30 in the evening. Families can roll in and get fresh produce loaded right into their cars. Some new faces on the Augusta sports world to tell you about. And Augusta University announcing their new athletic director. Our sports director, Dan Booth, here now with a story. So, Dan, what kind of impact will this kind of hire have on the Jags?
Well, thank you, Richard, and good evening, everyone. This afternoon, Augusta University announced Ryan Urlacher is set to become the third athletic director in the history of the university. Urlacher is bringing over 15 years of experience to Augusta from his time in leadership roles at multiple colleges, and including Clayton State University, where he is currently the athletic director. Urlacher is taking over for longtime Augusta University Director of Athletics Clint Bryant, who retired earlier this summer. According to the university, Urlacher is expected to begin his tenure as the lead man for Jaguar Nation on October 17th. The MLB playoffs are quickly approaching, and after exploding for 13 runs last night in a blowout, the MLB playoffs are quickly approaching, and after exploding for 13 runs last night in a blowout win over the Mets, the Braves have closed the gap in the NL East. At one point, it looked like New York was going to run away with the division, but as of right now, Atlanta is only 4.5 games back of first place. The Braves seem to have the golden opportunity this week because Game 2 of their 4-game series against the Mets is tonight at 7:20 in Atlanta.
Go Braves. Thanks, Dan. And by the way, Dan, welcome to the team. It's great to have you in Augusta. Much more from Dan at 6 o'clock. Still to come here, millions of people remembering the life and legacy of Elvis Presley today, but few are as dedicated to the king of rock and roll as one woman we found in Columbia County. You're going to want to see her house when we come back, Riley.
Hey, looking forward to seeing that. We're also tracking some showers to our northwest. This is what's going to be moving in over the next couple of days. Have a look at our wet pattern just after the break.
Today marks the 45th anniversary of Elvis Presley's death. Thousands of people are visiting his beloved Graceland in Memphis this week to honor him. They're gathering in his gravesite to pay tribute. This was just last night, and events are scheduled the rest of this week. Fans coming from all over the globe to take part in Elvis Week in this annual candlelight vigil. Elvis died August 16th, 1977. But the king is alive and well in a local woman's heart. Will Vogt takes us to her home in Columbia County, where she has spent years dedicating her house to a legend.
They call this Graceland Jr.
Welcome inside Laura Tenney's home. For her, it's not just a place to live, it's a place to keep her Elvis stuff. And she has a lot of stuff.
I have lost count. Hundreds, I think.
Hundreds? It might be thousands. Elvis is in every single room.
He's even in the bathroom. I have towels.
She has a bust of Elvis, an Elvis tree, an Elvis bed. It's almost all Elvis.
He was the greatest entertainer that ever lived. He loved his fans. He was so generous. And he loved the Lord, too.
Laura's loved Elvis since she was 9, before he died. She's been collecting for decades, and a lot of this was given to her.
I've been so blessed with family and friends giving me things. People that I hardly know that I love Elvis.
And that love is on display almost everywhere. But she did set aside a little space for her Georgia Bulldogs.
I love Jesus first, then Elvis, and then the Bulldogs.
And even though she has all this Elvis stuff already, she says there's always room for more.
Well, I'll find space.
In Evans, Will Volk, on your side.
She's got her priorities in order. The top 3 are pretty strong. To honor Elvis, Tenney lights a candle every year on his birthday and the anniversary of his death. She got that candle more than 40 years ago. Of course, it is Elvis themed. That is a love me tender moment right there.
That was pretty good stuff. I love the line where it's Jesus first, then Elvis, and then the Georgia Bulldogs.
In that order.
In that order. That was good stuff. Love
good.
those Will Volk stories. Good stuff.
Yeah, right here in Columbia County.
I know it.
The house full.
Yep. Elvis fans and really anyone that's really looking to actually get down some rainfall in the next couple of days, anyway, tomorrow morning. High rain chances, though, for the next 3 to 7 days out there. We're not really going to see our rain chances go down too much in the 7-day forecast, but luckily, high temperatures stay below 90 the next 7 days.
Breaking news out of Richmond County. We're learning more about a SWAT situation unfolding at the River Creek Apartments this afternoon. Authorities say they've now arrested 23-year-old Terrell Crawford Jr. An investigation led them to that apartment complex. It's off Center West Parkway. Crawford was taken into custody, they say, without any trouble. We're told he's wanted on multiple felonies, including aggravated assault and cruelty to children. College students making the trip to campus this week, and we have some gadgets that can give parents a sense of security, how they can keep your child safer while they're away. Next in What the Tech. Governor Kemp introducing a former Atlanta area police chief as the new director for the GBI. Michael Register will be taking that position once he's sworn in. Register will replace the outgoing chief, Vic Reynolds, and back in June, Kemp named Reynolds as Superior Court judge there in Cobb County. Register used to be the police chief in Clayton County, then again in Cobb County, and he still needs to be approved by the State Public Safety Board before he can actually be sworn in at the GBI. A heads up for drivers. GDOT closing some lanes at the state line again this week. There will be rolling lane closures tonight starting at 8 o'clock as they lay those new bridge beams over the Augusta Canal. Then at 9 o'clock they start rolling lane closures on lanes heading eastbound. Again, all this happening on I-20 at the state line. Those are scheduled to wrap up around midnight. The lanes are also expected to close down again on Thursday, so watch out. A busy construction zone with even more slowdowns ahead. 200 Georgia State Prison employees have been arrested on job-related crimes since 2020. A list from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution shows out of 195 Georgia Department of Corrections employees, 143 were state police officers. Some of the charges include arrests related to drugs, for battery, and sexual assaults. Well, it may still be summertime, but Dunkin' has announced they'll be bringing back the pumpkin-flavored drinks and bakery items earlier this year. Starting tomorrow, customers can get a taste of fall with the pumpkin spice latte, pumpkin cream cold brew, or just pumpkin-flavored coffee. The chain also announcing they'll be offering a glazed pumpkin cake donut and much more. All ahead tomorrow. So fall starts tomorrow at Dunkin'. Okay, this one's for the kids and Disney-loving adults. Does this look familiar? Disney on Ice coming back to Augusta for the first time in 4 years. This is video from back in 2017. Performances will feature some of the most iconic Disney characters coming up in November at the James Brown Arena. Tickets go on sale next week, August 23rd to be exact. College starts this week at a lot of universities, and while students are excited, some parents may be a little worried about their safety on and off campus. Consumer Tech reporter Jamie Tucker has some gadgets for college students that might help give parents a little less to worry about.
I am a big believer in my kids always having a flashlight for when they're out somewhere late at night. But this is what the flashlights used to be. Big and heavy, lots of batteries. Thankfully, some of the most powerful flashlights today are this small, and they're always charged. Anchor makes several flashlights powerful enough to light up an entire area and small enough to fit in a backpack or glove compartment. Good for late night walks across campus or when the power goes off. No need to worry about dead batteries either. They recharge by connecting to a USB cable. Some flashlights serve double or even triple duty for safety. The Jump Smart flashlight replaces the need for jumper cables. And if the car dies late at night, they have a flashlight for an emergency. Speaking of their car, if there is trouble like the check engine light coming on, these OBD2 readers will tell them and you what's wrong. If it's something minor, they can use the diagnosis and trouble codes to find and clear the error to kill the light. You don't want a phone call telling you they've lost something. Apple AirTags are handy to toss in their backpack to find it quickly. And even if someone steals that backpack and takes it across town, they'll see precisely where it is when the AirTag connects to other iPhones in the area. Tile trackers are very similar and a good option for non-iPhone users. And leaving their belongings in a gym locker, they need to protect them. The tap lock doesn't require a combination or a key, just their fingerprint to open it. Now, these gadgets are for students, but you can make the argument they're also for the parents' peace of mind. That's What the Tech. I'm Jamie Tucker.
We like a lot of those ideas. We have the links to those items posted on the website, wrdw.com. And Riley, we all have flashlight envy now, right?
I know, and I was getting some nostalgia from looking at that locker. 3 spins to the right, 2 spins to the left.
Right.
Yeah.
What's that combination again?
Exactly. Hey, weekend. We're looking towards the weekend here, and always looking nice for us, except for those storms in the afternoon. Gonna have to watch out for those. Now look at the 7-day forecast just after the break.
Get.com! Leave it to Snoop Dogg with a new cure for the morning munchies. A new breakfast cereal called Snoop Loops. That's Loops with a Z, y'all. The cereal is part of Snoop's food line he co-founded with a fellow rapper, Master P. Profits will help support charities like Door for Hope, which supports those dealing with homelessness. So, Snoop Loops, look for them in the grocery store there, Riley.
Hey, that's a different Snoop Dogg than I'm used to seeing, but hey, good idea there. Snoop Loops going towards a good cause. Great stuff by Snoop Dogg. Hey, we do have a cold front south of us, still keeping the chance for maybe a few isolated showers this evening and the late tonight. You can see off towards our northwest, up towards the lake. We are tracking some pockets of moderate to heavy rainfall. Not much lightning with these and not tracking a severe weather threat for the rest of today, but just a heads up, can't rule out some showers up until sunset. Temperature-wise, very comfortable. We're in the mid-80s if you're heading out soon over the next couple of hours, especially for areas south of I-20, still around 85 to 86 degrees. Now, moving forward this week, rain chances looking a little bit better tomorrow and especially Thursday and Friday. The stalled front on top of us is going to provide us pretty good rain opportunity. So moving forward, there is going to be the potential maybe for some minor flooding concerns. So that's going to be something that's on our radar the next several days, even into the weekend. Storm chances stay elevated. The one good thing, though, is for the next 7 days with this rainy pattern, temperatures will stay below 90.
Still ahead here on News 12, the search for a new city administrator continues. The latest out of Augusta Commission. It's all ahead when Meredith Anderson joins me for News 12 at 6 o'clock after the break.